Hello there, Gemini. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of January 6th through the 12th. I am doing a little different format than I have been doing since coming in and doing live dailies here and there. I thought I would switch up the weeklies so that we're looking at things in a little different way. For those of you who would like, I do offer private readings, and those are available via phone or Skype. And you can find my contact information on the website listed below. What is going on here? I just put down the whole spread and I don't even know what I was doing. Let's try this again. So those of you who are worrying, just because I'm picking up the spread, it's not that I saw any bad cards or anything. It's just that whenever I put the cards down, I'm in a different type of space than I normally use. And so they just didn't look right to me. So let's try that again. Let's try that again. That's better. Alright, this is the way things are supposed to look. Okay, Geminis. The first thing I'm looking at does talk to me about your environment, which is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it is home, but sometimes people will tell me it's work or school. So what I am seeing for your environment is that there is a lot of cooperation and collaboration there, that people make a really good team, that there's a lot of good work togetherness coming up in this week for your environment, Geminis. The second thing I'm looking at is your subconscious leanings. These are kind of the background programs of our minds. They don't always come up into consciousness. Every once in a while they will, and then they'll float back. But it looks like you have on your mind getting away from home, or getting away, leaving the nest. You may be considering changing jobs or changing where you live, changing residence, but there's something going on about changing someplace where you feel like you're home, okay? And so that's a subconscious leaning. You're working out, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? When are you going to do that? What does that all look like? All that kind of good stuff. Now, the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about your learning style and also your communication style. So what I have coming up here, Gemini, is that the things that you're learning during this week, you're really taking in through your emotional, through your heart chakra. You're really learning through your emotional reactions to things, about things that are going on in your environment and things around you, okay? As far as your communication style, it looks to me like you are very eloquent and more than tactful, at least as it comes across this week. And I think that your communication is going to be very emotional, possibly even very sentimental as you're communicating during the week. Next thing that we are looking at talks to me about work, and I see work as two different things. I see it as what we do to make a living, but I also see it as, and if you don't work for somebody, then this would be what you do to make a living. This would be how you feel productive in the community. And then the other way that I see work is what we do to improve our own inner character, to make us happier with us. Excuse me. So when we're looking at work here, Gemini, it looks like you're not really sure who your friends are and who your enemies are at work. You sort of have your boundaries up, and whatever it is that you're talking about at work is only work. Like, you're not sharing your personal life. You're not sharing anything that you don't have to with anybody else at work, okay? Not this week. And then as far as inner work, your inner work is really that you're trying to, in your personal life even, you're trying to set good, healthy boundaries. You're trying to, it feels to me, Geminis, like you may have been overextending yourself to other people in your personal life, and you're trying to set good boundaries with them so that you're not so much overextending as you go through your everyday life on the personal side. Okay, the next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now as we go through the week. And so Geminis, what I see here is that you're doing some research Maybe even we might want to call it spying, stalking. You're getting some information, and this is not information that's just being volunteered to you. This is information that you're having to dig for, and you're getting better and better at that, Geminis. The next thing that we have coming up talks to me about those things that you stand for. It looks to me, Geminis, like you may have made some travel plans and then you decided, you know what, I would rather not. I'd rather have a staycation, or I would rather not travel. I would rather do this instead. Or I just, you just may be wanting to stay home. Maybe you don't want to go see those people, or maybe you just don't like the idea of the travel itself. Maybe you're not feeling good. But, I think people are expecting you to be traveling and you're kind of telling them, you know what, no, not happening. And you're kind of having to defend yourself with this, because I think it comes across to me that this is not exactly your normal response to travel. And so I think some of the people around you are a little thrown by that. Now, next thing that we have coming up talks to me about how other people perceive you. And they see you as somebody who is very fair, somebody that, if they invest so much towards you, that you will invest so much back. Like they can count on you to be fair in any kind of interactions that you guys have with each other. Okay? Once we get towards the end of the week, we've got some things going on, Gemini. First of all, I feel like you're kind of going through a phase where you're just not feeling good. You're not feeling as cheerful and outgoing as you used to. You're just not feeling as social as you used to. You may even be rather hermitizing, sitting up on the couch reading a book or watching TV or working on a project or whatever, but you may not feel like being so social once we get towards the end of the week. And I feel like as you are not being so social, there are people around you who are responding, reacting to this, and they're trying to manipulate you into being more like you usually are, or more like your usual self. And so they're using some subtle and in some cases not so subtle types of manipulation to get you to do this. I see you as really, whatever you've committed to during this week, I see you backing out of it. I see you deciding, you know what, no, I'm not, thank you. Gotta cancel that. Gotta reschedule that. Okay. And then finally, at the very end of the week, it looks to me like you are really changing directions on some things that you have had scheduled. Whatever you have had scheduled towards the end of the week, I think you're deciding, you know what, I've got better offers to do. I've got better offers of things to do, or better offers of people to see, or places to be. And so I think you are just totally changing direction. That's why you've gotten out of these other commitments, because you don't want to go that direction. And part of it has to do with this manipulation that you were feeling from somebody else. Like you just don't want to be manipulated. You want to do your own thing. And that's what I see you doing, Gemini. Okay? So that's what we've got for the week. If any of you would like to have me do a private reading for you, I would be honored by that. Also, if this video helps you, please give it a thumbs up, and also share it with somebody else it may be helpful for as well. All of that kind of good stuff does help the channel, and I appreciate it very much. Everybody have a fantastic week, and I'll see you back here on the next video if I don't see you before that in a private reading. Peace out.